The horse and wagon played a very important role in food delivery businesses until the motorized car and trucks came on and slowly replaced the horse and wagons. All manner of foods were delivered to customers by this method. Hi, this is Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and this is another episode of Toy Talk. I'm still on my trip filming at various food service companies, and today I'm in Michigan at a Gordon Food Services store to talk about the founding and growth of another great restaurant, healthcare, school, and other commercial food services supplier who now has a growing retail sales division. To see my other food service company videos, including A&P, In-N-Out Burger, and Cisco Foods, go see those videos in my playlist. There's a link to it down in the description below. Also, take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and after the video ends, visit my website, farmtoysandmore.com, to shop for the next Diecast Replica for your collection. Age. It wasn't a problem back in 1897 in starting a business. Certainly not for Isaac Van Westenbrugge, age only 23. Young Westenbrugge had an idea to start an egg and butter delivery business. Even in 1897, it took seed money to start a venture. So, Westenbrugge borrowed $300 from his brother, rounded up farmers that would supply him with eggs and butter, and presto! He was in business. Using his horse and wagon, he sold to local grocers in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Isaac's business grew, and in 1905, Isaac took on a partner by the name of William Erb. Together they formed a general grocery wholesaling business named Van Westenbrugge and Erb. Amazing! From selling eggs and butter to a wholesale general grocery company. Supplying commercial customers became the cornerstone to the success of the company and is still the primary customer group targeted by GFS. What next? Another young man, age 16, that went by the name of Ben Gordon. He began working for Isaac in 1916. Ben started by doing the unloading, stocking of merchandise, general cleanup, and some bookkeeping. William Erb and Isaac ended their partnership in 1917 when Isaac buys him out. Also in the same year, Isaac opens the I. Van Westenbrugge store in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now I am getting to Ben Gordon. Isaac must have been really impressed with Ben Gordon because Isaac's business became solely a Van Westenbrugge Gordon family managed, privately held business after buying out William Erb. Eventually the business would become Gordon Food Service. 1921 was a busy year for Ben. He became the first assistant to Isaac. And now we come to how Ben Gordon eventually got his name on the trucks we see today. It was simple. Ben and Ruth Van Westenbrugge were married, creating a union that lasts over 51 years and produces the next generation of leadership for the company. By the way, Ruth was Isaac's daughter. As I said, 1921 was a busy year for Ben. 1933, Ben and Isaac joined in a partnership and formed the Gordon Van Cheese Company. Finally, putting the Gordon family name in the company name. When doing research on GFS, I found it interesting that A&P food stores got into the mix when Frank Gordon joins his brother in 1937. Frank was working for A&P and brought many of the A&P innovations with him, including cash and carry grocery stores, which finally came to be in 1979 when GFS opened the first cash and carry store in Grand Rapids. Taking a leap forward to 1942, the company is renamed Gordon Food Service after Isaac retires, and Ben and Frank reorganize and rename the corporation. Finally, we arrive at the present. Well, not quite yet. In 1968, Gordon Food Service has a continued period of growth and many innovations. One of the innovations on the transportation side of the business is the two-trailer hookup system. This new method of transporting food enables Gordon Foods to cover a wider territory by truck rather than building more distribution centers. Expansion continues for Gordon Foods in 1993. The company begins servicing customers in Canada with the purchase of the Ontario and Quebec divisions of Maple Leaf Food Service, starting GFS Canada. 3 years later, in 1996, Gordon Food Service purchases family-owned Canadian food service distributors Distal and Finley Greenwood. Growth and expansion continue to the present day. Once a simple egg and butter delivery company started back in 1897 by Isaac van Westenbrugge, Gordon Food Service has grown into a multi-billion-dollar company covering most of the United States and Canada with wholesale and retail grocery sales. And here we go, guys. This is the International 9100i tandem axle day cab tractor with two Wabash 28.5-foot pups for Gordon Food Service, a GFS Canada company. This is a very old model, and it was made back when it was Diecast Promotions only. And this is the old Diecast Promotions box, you can tell. This was a Series 2 model, and it came out a long time ago. Item number on this guy was 31291. It came out in 2006, his 10th anniversary. Talk about an old piece right there. And I'll start off here with the converter dolly. Same converter dolly they've used on all of their doubles at DCP. Has DOT striping on the front, some marker lights, 10-hole chrome wheels, soft rubber tires. Fifth wheel for DCP first gear trailers that does pivot. It's plastic while the converter dolly is die cast, and the two mud flaps are plastic. It also has little air lines and brake lines mounted up on top. Mud flaps, you can see, have GFS logos. These are the GFS logos for Gordon Food Service back when this truck was made in 2006. They have since changed all of their logos. And there you go, it's got the two brake lights. Really nice detail for such a small little item. It's even got working suspension and suspension detail cast into it. Pup trailers, again, both pup trailers on this one are the same. They didn't even put unit trailer numbers on the trailers, so they're identical. I'll just show you the one. There you can see Gordon Food Service, a GFS Canada company, with their red and yellow stripe. They've done away with the yellow, it seems, out of their logo. Now they're just all red and white, or red and gray. It's got DOT striping marking down the side, and then it's got some rivet detail into the side of the trailer, roof clearance lights, and then a marker light down here. 10-hole chrome wheels with soft rubber tires. Fuel tank for the reefer unit, because typical of food service trailers, these are refrigerated. Then it has your standard screwed down type landing gear. Now if you look on the curb side,
Same exact as the other side, only you just see the back of the fuel tank instead of the front. Front of the trailer. Now this guy has the carrier reefer unit. Most of the trucks had the Thermo King reefers, but this one has the carrier reefers on both. It's got the carrier logo, carrier logos, grills, panels, and then all of your hookups right there on the front of the trailer. I also did a hot stamping process on both corners to make them look like they are chrome plated corners or mirror plates so that you could see. And then there's two clearance lights up top. Around to the back, something kind of unique to this trailer. They chrome plated the back doors. Kind of odd, but they did. These are not the individual panel roll-up doors. They're one big solid panel, which was the most common for their pups. It has its little reflectors, roof clearance lights, GFS logo, and striping there. Also DOT striping. Wabash style rear bumper with placard and ladder built in. And then it's got the two brake lights. Mud flaps. Hard to see it, but behind the bumper there is a GFS logo put on top of the white mud flap. And then there's a pin there to hitch the two trailers together. Underneath the trailer, and you can see it has working rear suspension, air brake canisters on the rear axles, single axle, air canister, fuel tank, kingpin, landing gear. It says Wabash National in black. Diecast Promotions made in China is cast in. Then it has a date of manufacture, 2526. So the 252nd day of 2006. Also, it's got some little information here. J.R. Skeffington, the toy truck place.ca. And that would be the guy that had this run made, either for himself or for GFS Canada. Most likely it was made for GFS Canada through him. Now we'll set that aside. And both trailers are identical, so I'm not going to even talk about the other trailer, and we'll pick up the cab. This is DCP's International 9100i day cab tooling. It has 10-hole chrome wheels, soft rubber tires, quarter fenders, battery boxes, fuel tanks with steps on them, grab bar, mirrors, mud flaps, fifth wheel for DCP first gear, airlines, brake lines on the back. International's had a marker light there, and then it has the 9100i tampoed right underneath it. You can see Gordon Food Service, a GFS Canada Company right there on the door handle. Inside the cab it has a light gray, light tannish gray dashboard, steering wheel that's black, and two high back seats. Also there's a gear shift on the floor, and then there's some tampos on the dashboard. No driver's or passenger's window as if they're rolled down, but it does have hard plastic front and back windows. Curbside, pretty much exactly the same, only it has a place for the little lower minder window, but they painted over it on this one, which is kind of weird, but they painted over it, so it looks like you don't really have a window there. Steps, grab bar, everything else pretty much the same. Now, something that doesn't work on these is the hoods don't open on these early International toolings. Backside here, chrome brackets. They're hanging the mud flaps, and the mud flaps are white with some DOT striping and GFS logos tampoed on each. Brake lights tampoed red, backup light tampoed in white. Tipped up, there's the fifth wheel. There are your airlines that are wired in. There's a chrome deck plate, a grab bar, hard plastic window, and then the single exhaust right there. Just one exhaust hidden by the fairing. Now the fairings on this truck are actually all add-on pieces. They drilled two little holes and some holes in the side, and they add them on because they did offer this truck without the fairings, and there have been a couple of them made that way, which looks really cool. And you just have the stack, but this one has the full fairings. Underneath the truck, rear differentials, air brake canisters on each axle. It's got drive shafts going to the axles and the transmission. You can also see 2 air tanks and then some connecting pieces that hold all of that together. Front spring suspension, bottom of the engine, and then there's transmission detail. And this guy does have positional steering. It is not true steering, it's positional. It clicks in place. Looking at the top, you just see the top of the truck, nothing really to look at. Round to the front, we'll start off here. GFS logo is a decal, and it's put on top of the fairings just like the real ones. There's also, just like International did, the roof clearance lights that are required are tampoed orange right there on top of the visor. Front of this truck, International grille, big chrome bumper, and then it has the International logo right there. You can see both chrome mirrors, and then the headlights are individual jewel style with the little amber and orange paint on the inside to make them look like they got the turn signals. And there we go. That is the International 9100i tandem axle day cab with 2 28.5 foot Wabash pups with reefer units on them for Gordon Food Service of Canada, a GFS Canada Company. Of course, GFS's home office is in the US, but they do have a big Canadian division, and this truck is replicating one of the trucks from the Canadian fleet. It is a 1/64 scale die-cast model made by Diecast Promotions. It would be a great model if you could find one to add to your collection.
Gordon Food Service feeds a large portion of the United States and Canada. Have you shopped in one of their stores? Let me know down in the comments below. While I don't have any GFS trucks for sale on my website, farmtoysandmore.com, I do have other DCPs for sale, along with many other die-cast collectibles to improve your collection. Shop it right now with the link down below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please smash that like button to help me get my videos out to more great die-cast collectors just like you. Share this video with your followers and subscribe to my channel for more great die-cast product reviews and histories of the companies the models are based on. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.